whole
around in this situation. I think most of these situations where you have a cop shooting that is kind of, whether people argue whether it's justified or not, usually seems to me that you have the person who gets shot is doing something stupid, and then the cop is probably also doing something stupid. And I said this on Sunday that you should never get in a stupid off with a police officer because you're almost always going to lose that. Very often you're going to lose it with your life. And then
Um, yeah, I can agree with that statement. One of the reasons why is because the cop has a gun. So, because the cop has a gun, it puts everyone's life in peril. This is how guns work. It's not just the fact that the guy with the gun can kill, it's that he has to now be worried about someone taking his gun. And if you're going to start a fight or be violent towards somebody with a gun, it represents a Darwinistically stupid stance of yours. So you're promoting chaos and you will likely die. And also, it's just respect authority, like respect polar bears, respect the dragon, respect large predators. I mean, it's just common sense. So even if you're just a dopey idiot bitch and I hate ice for some reason, like they are the stormtroopers and I want to be Princess Leia. Okay, you're a LARPing idiot, like there's a million better things to do, but this will adversely affect your life if you decide to go to war. You brought a vagina to a gunfight, is essentially, and an attitude. A vagina and attitude to a gunfight. It became a gunfight because you tried to run him over. So you did bring your SUV.
And even if you don't, you're probably going to lose it in court because, as you said, courts generally in the law generally gives a pretty large amount of leeway for law enforcement to engage with people in this fashion.
Of course, because they're facing a million threats. And if you don't understand that or respect that, that's on you. And you're just being dopey and moronic. You are a problem. You're committing crimes, multiple crimes. She committed like, what, 3 in a row? So obstructing the road. I love how people saying she wasn't blocking the road. She's blocking half of the road. She's parked in the road. So just because someone can go by you doesn't mean you're not blocking the road. First of all, to go by her, you have to cross into head oncoming traffic. So she is a threat. She is in violation. Then she resisted arrest, and then she ran over a cop, attempting vehicular manslaughter. It was assault or battery. I mean, it was potentially grievous harm to a human being. So, she speed ran multiple crimes and then was shot and killed in self-defense because of it.
So the number one thing I think people need to take away from this is don't get into stupid offs with police officers. Don't be stupid. Just comply, do whatever they're saying.
The cop wasn't stupid. He was only dumb in the fact that he stood in front of the car. This is like, hey, I want to take a picture of me and this horse. Okay, where do you want to stand? I don't know, right by its ass. Okay, and then I want to like touch the horse and like just like pat him. And like, this horse doesn't know me. Like, well, that's probably the worst place to stand because the horse might buck and kick you. So like, don't do it. The cop made a mistake, but it was a mistake of a much more minor level. Him standing in front of the car or walking in front of a car of someone they're trying to arrest is a mistake by no, absolutely. But it's nowhere near the mistake of trying to drive over an officer or into an officer of the law and disregard his human well-being. This is attempted murder, or it's a felony. So like, what the cop did is not a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. It's just bad training and not ideal. The other one's a felony. So there's a difference between these two mistakes. It's not really a stupid off.
Fight the police officers in the courts. Do not fight, or any law enforcement. Do not fight law enforcement on the street. It's like the worst possible thing you could ever say. I don't know if you saw Hassan arguing with Asman about this, and Asman asked Hassan, "What
missed
would
that.
you have done if you were in Renee Good's situation?" And he said, "Oh, I would have driven away too," which is like you're telling your chat, you're telling your chat to just like be in this very dangerous situation.
I mean, I don't think he would have. I really
No, it's
doubt.
completely, yeah, he's lying too. He would
Yeah,
have been like,
yeah,
"Oh, yes, officer, let me get out of my expensive sports car and like give you my information, of course."
yeah. I don't think he would drive away. Adam,
Yes.
what were your thoughts?
What'd you say?
I said, Adam, what were your thoughts? Is Adam there? Am
I
I
let
crazy?
Adam leave.
Good
I don't
production.
know.
Wait, did he leave?
He's
I
taking a
don't know.
dump.
But
Oh, okay.
well,
Yeah,
here, let me finish though
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
Go,
in terms of
sorry,
like the
yeah,
responsibility angle
yeah, yeah. Go
of
ahead.
it. So I think that I think she made a lot of bad decisions. First of all, she shouldn't have been blocking a lane of traffic, which
Correct.
you're not supposed to do.
Which is downplayed to the point of people don't even mention it. Like the beginning of the story is, what is she doing? What is her purpose for being there? And why is it relevant? It's relevant because it informs why she decided to be a cunt and to cuntily just drive into a human being, which is why we're here talking about this. If she weren't a cunt, she wouldn't have been blocking traffic. If she weren't a cunt, she wouldn't have been chasing ICE agents in some LARPy, ridiculous, lesbian, mommed out attempt to like have meaning in her life. So if she had other meaning in her life, she would be occupied with that. Instead, she's doing this stupid shit, breaking the law. And so the decision to not comply with police orders, stupid, cunty mistake. So her cuntiness started before she refused to comply with police orders and then refused to brake when there's a person standing in front of her car, which she saw clearly, as we saw through the video. She knew the guy was there, but she's a cunt. She doesn't respect the guy. I don't respect you. How many different ways can I showcase to you? I don't respect you. Here's the final one. The final thing she ever did in her life. I will disrespect you by driving my car into you. I won't listen to what you're telling me. I don't respect who you are, your authority, your presence in my city. I hate everything about you. And I have a callous disregard for your physical well-being. That's why I hit the accelerator. Those were choices she made. She was a cunt.
Legal. Then once she's doing that, and the guy tells her, to get out of the car, she doesn't do that. So that's a second, huge mistake. And I don't.
And then this is where people go, you shouldn't die just for resisting arrest, or you shouldn't die for not complying with police orders, or, and it's like, we're not saying that. We're saying that's a mistake, but it's a track record of cuntiness. And, you're following the yellow brick road of being a cunt, and it leads predictably, and it ramps up to like the critical moment. And in that split second, she looked down, went from reverse to drive. Her lesbian cohort had just said, drive, baby, drive. And she looked up, saw some ICE agent. She said, I have nothing but disdain for this fuck. So fuck him, fuck his hopes and dreams, fuck his wife, fuck his kids, fuck his future. It's about me. It's the me show. I do what I want. I'm the boss here. I'm a girl boss. So I'm going to drive my SUV and I will not be held accountable for anything that happens or anybody I hit with this vehicle. Well, apparently there are consequences. So A leads to B. You did something, act and react. You got shot because of it. It was totally justified.
I don't agree.
Who says who? So saith I, a Eagle Scout, Troop 85, Pacific Palisades, a man who is a part of an organization based in morality. Okay, so forget the college degrees, forget that. I'm better than you. I have a merit badge in being a better human being than you. Okay, so I can tie a sailor knot. I can help a woman across the street. I can bake cookies and sell them. Also, I'm morally superior to you. And it's like in the record. Like my name, go research, go Devin Tracy, Eagle Scout. You'll find me there.
Agree with people who think that her intention was to like run this guy over.
My penis is bigger than yours too.
No, we're all doing kind of mind reading because we don't really know. I think
not in terms of girth. You might have me on girth. I have you on length. It is like a pole. Do you know, like in the scenes like Braveheart, where there's like horses and Scotsmen, or actually Englishmen, are running towards Mel Gibson, and then all of a sudden he's like, hold, and then all of a sudden they pull out these huge spears, and they're like these pointed wooden beams. That's like my dick.
I think that she just kind of,
but with a mushroom tip,
went into like panic blinders mode and didn't really pay attention to what she was doing and was just like, I'm just going to get out of here.
Yeah, she threw into fight or flight. That's what we call it. She freaked out. She got caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Her lesbian said, drive, drive, drive. That's like a command. And she's like, I don't give a fuck that this guy's in front of me. I'm not stopping. I've made a decision. And it was her final decision. And this is a very simple case. Sick of being gaslit, she ran into this man with an SUV. It is a mortal threat. He was justified in shooting her. Didn't have to. Didn't have to be in front of the car, but he was. And he's justified in shooting her. And his 3 shots took less than 1 second. It took roughly 0.7 seconds from first shot to third shot. So his righteous ability to defend himself was less than a second of action. He is granted 1 second to defend his life from a credible threat to his life. And if you don't accept that, what is he allowed 0.3 of a second? I'll give you 0.3 of a second to defend your life.
And she was just driving. And that's super dangerous because when you're behind a car, it's your responsibility to make sure you don't hit anyone.
Exactly. And this is the guy's talking as an Ashkenazi Jew. So he knows he's been interbreeding. The Jews in his family history have been fucking other Jews with sufficient brain capacity over thousands of years. Him and his family have been incesting it up for years. It has led us to this man who is capable of understanding the lethality of a vehicle, a massive tonned weighted object that you are in control of. We hold you responsible. I don't care if you're not trying to hit someone, you get held responsible. If I hit someone in an intersection and I go to the judge, wait a minute, I wasn't trying to hit him. That doesn't matter. You hit him. You are responsible. So but that's a best case scenario. She saw a man in front of her car. There's no way you can say she knew she wouldn't hit him. Like, even if she's a bad driver or whatever, it's ridiculous. There's a person standing in front of you. You should not drive. And if you do drive, you will be held responsible for the damage you caused that human.
And when you have 3 people around your car, including your wife, and it's kind of a tense law enforcement situation, you should, be very aware. You should be very cognizant of the people around you. If he was behind her when that happened, I think she would have just backed up right into him because I don't think she looked when she backed up either. So I think she just kind of went in full panic mode and started to drive without really any consideration of the people around her, which is insane.
And she had no consideration of them even before that moment of panic. She didn't care about or respect any aspect to any ICE agent. She was actively hating upon them, trying to ruin their lives and trying to just, rain on their parade and basically interfere with federal law being executed. So, that's who she was. That's what she was doing.
Insanely dangerous if you're behind the wheel of a car, and you as a driver always have responsibility to do that. So I think her responsibility and her actions were insanely reckless and very stupid. And then for the officer, he obviously, we're kind of looking at this hindsight. He should have either not have walked in front of the car, or he should have stayed near his car, not walked in front of the car, or he should have kept walking. There's an angle you can see where, if he had walked maybe another couple steps, he would have been out of the way. And then in terms of the morality, or I guess maybe it's the morality or just the non-legal way of looking at the shooting, because I think legally he'll be found to be justified, and
Correct.
I think I would agree with that, is the whole point of a law enforcement officer to shoot someone is to stop them from killing them or committing great bodily harm to themselves or another person. In hindsight, we can now see that wasn't necessary. So he shouldn't have, from that angle, from knowing the future, he obviously should not have shot her.
Yeah, and let's pause and address the, hundreds of other officers who have been killed by vehicles, who have been rammed by people trying to flee being detained or arrested. So for those people, let's pour a little alcohol out and say they probably should have shot. Okay, there's many clips and it's gory to witness, but they were killed and rammed by cars and dragged, and they're dead. So in retrospect, they probably should have shot.
But obviously, we have to look at it from the perspective of okay, he's making a split-second decision when he is in, I would say, in a dangerous situation, in a dangerous position, and it made sense, I think.
100% correct. So I'm putting this on his inbred Jewish high IQ background. I really think that a lot of discourse is high IQ versus mid IQ and low IQ, and it's not really called out for what it is. So I can try to hold your hand and walk you through the moral logic of this. This is not hard to determine. So and I ran into it with these dorks before, Sitch, and Adam. They don't understand Emmett Till. They can't understand Emmett Till. They get out there and go, Emmett Till shouldn't have been lynched. And I go, yeah, I agree. And then I go, Emmett Till sexually assaulted the white woman. And they go, so you think he should have been lynched? I go, no. But he shouldn't have sexually assaulted a white woman. So you think he should be lynched for having sex? Because we're against lynching. No. Hear me again. He shouldn't have been lynched. he also sexually assaulted a white woman. Okay, so you're saying you're justifying his lynching? No, you are refusing to see my point. Apparently,
For him to reasonably think that his life was at danger at that moment, even though we now know that that wasn't the case.
I have a merit badge in sexual assault. It was a weird. They discontinued it, but the idea was you have to learn what to be against, and so I learned all different ways to sexually assault people, and I became proficient in those methods, and then I condemned it. Now I'm fully able to condemn it because I know it so well, intimately.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm with you on a lot of that. There's a few things that I want to unpack. So, I don't know which one to start with. I gotta write things down. Sometimes my brain gets a little
You
scatterbrained,
should,
but
yes. I
like
have a little notepad. You gotta bring a little notepad up.
I should do that. But to one of your last points there, um, the idea that so I agree that police officers are expected to make really quick decisions. And sometimes situations, as is plainly evident for this, can escalate really dramatically in a matter of 2 seconds. And the whole situation changes from completely innocuous to potentially really dangerous. And so, in those decisions, the hope is that we have rigorous training protocols to prepare them to make those kinds of split decisions. I really question the idea of him pulling his gun out and shooting his gun in this spot because uh, how can any reasonable person expect that that is actually going to make his situation less dangerous? If you shoot someone in the face while their foot is on the accelerator, there's a very decent chance their foot's just going to stiffen up and maybe even hit the gas, hit the accelerator even harder. And that's what happened. We saw her car just made a beeline and
So once again, he's saying if you can predict the future, then you would know that shooting her is not going to stop the car from moving. So why shoot her? Well, isn't that convenient? I mean, I didn't know you had a time machine. I mean, this is not the judgment call. So also, this is the first time this guy has taken a shot at someone driving a car over him. So I don't know how much forethought he put into it. He was simply defending his life from what he perceived to be a lethal threat. Now, if you want to, get this down to its core issue, if you're telling me that someone driving an SUV directly into you is not a mortal threat to you, you're just a moron. You're like a politically blinded, just like ghastly joke. So like we can't even move forward if you don't even acknowledge that. By the way, these people would acknowledge that had the person in front of the car been a lefty or like a protester. They would be like, oh my God, the person in the car is horrible. What are they doing? So something is either universally good or bad. And driving into someone with your car is just bad. And like, it is definitely a threat. The fact that he shot her, yeah, it's not the right move. I mean, he again, legally justified, not recommended. Okay, it didn't lead to a good result. It turned out to not be necessary, and he could have done something else. But humans, people react, man. Like in the moment, you're going to react. And we got to go by the book. And by the book, he is justified in this shoot. Going into the future, these guys should be trained way better to deal with this precise situation, which is don't stand in front of the car. And if someone's going to flee, let them flee. But again, that's all well and good. But in this situation, his life was in danger. And so he decided to take that shot.
And
I find it a little bit bullshit that these lefties are acting in an uproar about this one death as if it's, the Archduke Ferdinand or some shit. It's like people die all the fucking time and they don't care. Okay, people are murdered and it's like, yeah, there's nothing to sink my teeth into. So yeah, a black guy stabs a white woman in the neck. Who am I going to yell at? Trump? Like, I mean, what? I'm going to yell at Democratic officials who are letting black dudes out of jail over and over again and making us live with this threat? No, that doesn't suit me. So I'm just going to let that story float away. Just kiss it goodbye.
Contact with another vehicle going, it looked like, pretty close to full speed. So how would that situation have removed the danger for himself?
Well, I've seen in movies many times where you shoot the driver and the car ceases to drive. I mean, it just, the There's no longer a human being with intent driving the car into you. So it's not being steered, and there's a chance the accelerator will lessen. And also, the guy didn't think this through. He had literally a split second to defend himself. And he's not Spider-Man. He can't just, shoot a web and then bolt out of here. He can't teleport. He has a gun. That is his way of defending. He could have tried to jump or leap or preserve himself in that way, but he decided to fight. Not everyone's going to fly. Some will fight. And this is his way of fighting.
So the hope, again, like with law enforcement, is that you train them to, and I also want to touch on your whole, like, maybe it was a bad idea for him to step in front of the car. I don't think there's any maybe about it. That was a horrible decision. Let me walk you through, like, the 5 bad decisions that I think
right. Stepping in front of the car is not even a crime or a misdemeanor. It's simply bad training and a bad idea. And she tried to kill him. Or maybe she didn't try to kill him, but she did almost kill him. So that's, she committed how many, like, felony, misdemeanor, felony? Like, it was something in that he didn't commit any crime. So we're not going to sit here and compare the two and be like, tisk tisk on you and tisk tisk on you. These things are not remotely even. This is a false equivalence.
Made, and like each decision I think got worse and worse. Like the first bad decision I think he made was getting out of that car and circling it with his phone, recording what was happening. I think that was clearly an escalation.
Oh, bullshit. Escalation? These people are already escalated. What do you mean? They're already up in your shit committing a crime. They're blocking the road. Him documenting what they're doing. If anything, it was the lesbian dyke who was escalating, talking about, hey, big boy, go get a lunch. Come at us. Ex-fucking military. That was them being cunts. All right, so their presence there is cunty. It's like, hey, there's a guy at my door in front of my house, and he's just knocking at the door, and he won't leave. And then I go out there and film the guy, and you go, yeah, why'd you escalate? No, I'm not the one escalating. Do not try to spin this around. It's the guy at my door already just camped out up in my shit. He is the escalator.
That was not necessary. If you were trying to get, an image of her face or her license plate, you can just take a picture to do that.
That's what he was doing. We have a thing called moving pictures. So he was documenting it. He was not escalating. He did not have his gun out.
Right.
He wasn't even the one arresting them. His other 2 guys came up and said, get out of the car.
I mean, I don't know if I would agree that that's like, I definitely wouldn't say it's an escalation.
No, it's absolutely bullshit. He's trying to put the onus on the cop for making the situation happen. He's trying to avoid accountability of this lesbian for deciding to flee. She went, I'm saying it's felony, misdemeanor, felony. Okay, she went on a speed run at the end of her life, and he's like, it's her fault. She committed those 3 crimes. Blockading traffic. So all the traffic violations of that, and interfering with federal officers, so there's a charge there. Disobeying, resisting arrest, and fleeing from the scene, might be 2 different crimes there, and then running over an officer. Or running into, ricocheting off, clipping an officer. Like, you cannot hit people with your car.
He's blocking traffic.
He didn't commit any crime.
Assume what he was doing was that he was filming her to do what most people would want him to do, which is to say, okay, I'm filming what she's doing. I'm filming her. I'm getting her license plate, and then I'm going to send that to the local police and tell them that, she's impeding in a federal investigation or something.
I very much disagree with you on this one. The fact that he circled her car not once, but he was in the process of circling her car a second time.
So
that to me very clearly indicates that he's antagonizing.
No, he circled it once, dude. He went to the back and then to the front to get both license plates and just to get her on camera, just a face. I mean, the way he went about it, okay, maybe it was twice. But he wanted to get full coverage, and he was being peppered by the other lesbian, the wife. And it's not his fault. Like, he was doing a very normal thing, just documenting these people who were, committing a crime and interfering.
Like, you can say that she was being cringe. You can have that opinion. You can say that she was being hostile towards the ICE agents. I don't really feel.
We don't really pronounce the O of opinion. Opinion. It's opinion. So I don't know where you picked that up. White trash.
Strongly one way or the other about that. Like as long as you're not literally impeding the course of their duties.
They were impeding. They're literally blocking the road. So it's not just, it's the citizens of this region, of this city. You just simply cannot do what they were doing. Okay, they were in violation. They were wrong. Now they're trying to put it on ICE and say, no, ICE is wrong for existing. ICE is wrong for doing their legal duties to enforce our immigration law. That is incorrect. So let's just get to the root of what you're trying to say. ICE are totally legit and completely in the right to do their jobs. This woman was totally incorrect and committing a crime doing what she was doing that day. So at the beginning of the story, she's in the wrong.
Then, that's just at that point just civil disobedience, right? At worst, it's just civil disobedience. And so I just don't really feel very strongly about that. But the fact that he did it not once but twice, like I think he was
ridiculous that he's trying to put this on the cop. This is pure victim blaming. You are blaming the guy who got hit by a car for being in proximity to the car. And it's like, how about a little mention of the woman who punched the gas and drove her SUV into this man?
Very clearly, he and the other officers were very clearly escalating that situation.
Ridiculous. It wasn't escalation in any way, shape, or form. I mean, so he's trying to categorize or characterize these officers arresting her for committing a crime. So are you understanding she's committing a crime? Do you understand why they're arresting her? That's totally justified. That is not an escalation. That's called a confrontation where you are apprehending a criminal. Right? Now, a lot of pussies like Hutch and a lot of people on the left are conflict averse. They don't want confrontation. When you are enforcing laws, you have to get bad guys. The bad guys don't want to be got. So there is conflict. There is confrontation. That's their job. That's why they have weapons, because shit goes awry, because people flee and people are violent. So it's sort of like this attitude of the path of least resistance type pussy folk. Hutch is a pussy folk, and he doesn't want this. And so when he sees it happening, he says, it's your fault that you caused. He's saying you're the cause of the confrontation. Again, totally ass backwards. These women are there, their presence there, and the crime they are committing while being there is the reason they must be confronted and dealt with. Then they committed more crimes once confronted, hence the entire thing is their fault. And he's trying to forget all of that. That is the moral logic. That is the sane take on this situation. And he lacks the ability to see that and just wants to blame the other. Blame the white guy, blame the Trump guy, blame the ICE guy, just for the sake of it, just because it makes him feel good.
Yeah.
And he's trying to square the circle and rationalize it, and it's just cringe.
Had the one officer that ran up to her car and just immediately started pulling on the door handle. Like
what? Yeah. Open the door. Get out of the car.
Was that necessary?
Yes, it's necessary. You are under arrest. Get out of the car. Turn the car off. You're under arrest. You're committing a crime. So he is willfully obtuse as to what she was doing, or apparently not understanding that she's committing a crime. So he doesn't give any credence to the fact that those actions were justified. They were. And so now we're just off the reservation, and nothing else will make sense, because what was that officer doing even walking up to the car, opening the door?
Like, was that level of force?
Force? Opening the car door? Yes, you're under arrest. So he's a pussy. He is not a cop. He doesn't understand what's involved in the job. He's not going to go right these wrongs. He's not going to arrest criminals. He's going to sit there and fap and game and sit in his room and bitch at his computer. Like, that's who he is. That's what he does. He can't even see that, no, these are men who are going out there enforcing laws. And if these cunts are going to be here running interference, breaking the law, they're going to be arrested. So, yes, it is necessary, Hutch, for them to walk up and open the door and say, get out of the fucking car. Fucking bitch.
Commensurate with her behavior in that moment, based on everything that we've seen so far.
So again, ghosting the fact she is committing a crime. Her behavior in that moment, yes. She is she is obstructing their ability to carry out their job as lawful, agents of the state. So yeah, you're going to jail. Like, you know you're committing a crime. Is that even in dispute? Of course, people do try to dispute it. They're like, oh, she was just coming back from daycare. She was just doing the longest 3-point turn in the world.
Far. Like, if she was throwing shit at them.
Like the rock throwers, Palestinian folk. Like those guys.
if she was making threats at them.
Her presence was a looming threat for sure. She was blockading traffic and running interference and was there to cause havoc. So no, she doesn't have to be physically throwing projectiles at someone to be arrested. I mean, surely you're not making that case, are you? It's retarded.
That's one thing, right?
Okay, so I'm going to go into somebody's property and just trespass. Some gated house. I'm just going to stand on their lawn. And eventually the guy's going to be like, there's a dude just standing in her lawn. Well, wait a minute. Is he throwing anything? No, he's just standing there. He's blowing a rape whistle on our front lawn. Okay, well, let's arrest him. Well, okay, let's call the cops. Cops come. Eventually, a cop's going to approach me and be like, sir, you got to go. This is private property. You're trespassing. You're sketchy as fuck. And then Hutch is going to come in and be like, wait a minute. Was it even necessary for the cop to approach the guy? He was just standing on the front lawn. Well, I mean, technically, he is breaking the law. I mean, he is trespassing. It is super sus. I mean, someone has to deal with him. Apparently, Hutch is not going to be the guy, but there will be a guy that approaches me. And if I disobey his commands, sir, please remove yourself from the premises. You're not authorized to be here. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not mad at you. Eventually, someone will physically grab me and remove me from the front lawn. Okay? Go try it yourself. Try it yourself in your local community. And watch for the moment. There will be a moment where someone touches you. And that someone will be a man and he will have a weapon. Now, what you decide to do after that, that will determine your future.
We don't really know. It is kind of weird to me. I think it's a little suspicious to me that we haven't really heard from either side of the situation, of the the ICE side or the Renee Good side, like the definitive.
Renee Good's not going to be holding a press conference anytime soon.
Exact explanation of what she was doing.
We already know what she was doing. It's obvious. Other people have commented on this. We have video of her honking her horn and dancing. This is part of an ICE Watch community, like WhatsApp group. So she's officially a member of an anti-ICE instigation group. And the tactics that they do is they make a bunch of noise. They're trying to warn people. They're just little, superhero crusaders for good. Lefty scum, essentially. Rebel scum is what me and my stormtrooper friends like to call them. And they suck balls, or in her case, they lick gash, and I'm over it. Like, fuck them. Fuck this dude. Who's this? Oh, Sitch? He's pretending like we don't know what she was doing? No, it's very clear. Other people in her group have announced that she was the head bitch in charge that day. Her car was the leader of the caravan. She's telling people, girl bossing people around, directing traffic. I mean, she's not the first time she's done this. She's been at meetings. Why are we pretending to play dumb here? Or are we just dumb?
Which is kind of strange to me, because I think if it was like really, damning in one way or the other, then one side would kind of champion it.
Who's the one side of all this information is out? This guy has not researched this at all. It's not a mystery as to her role there that day. She's part of an organization hell-bent on interfering with ICE.
And that, whatever she was specifically doing. So I think it's still kind of unclear what exactly she was doing.
It's been reported on. You're just ignorant to it.
By blocking traffic. Was she trying to block like the car that was stuck in the snow, or was she just...
She's trying to be anywhere near ICE and make their lives harder and protest and showcase that they're against them and warn all the Mexicans or whoever, Somalis were around, that ICE is in the area.
Trying to cause a ruckus. It's kind of unclear, I think, at this point.
So her actions speak louder than her words, but she has a track record of this, and it's not confusing. This is the same thing with like Ahmaud Arbery. Was he just a jogger? What was he doing just going through that empty house? I mean, he does have a track record of like theft. Like he tried to steal TV from a Best Buy, and other people have seen him in the area, and there was a missing gun from a car in that area. I mean, but I think he's just a jogging enthusiast. I mean, he has used that excuse over and over again. He wasn't jogging. He was not jogging. He was casing joints and he was stealing shit. But people still, I don't know. I don't know if we can know that. I don't know if we can. I'm just going to assume he's just randomly jogging in a neighborhood nowhere near where he lived. Right. It was just total bullshit.
You're right in that. I think there's an absence right now of like, we don't know what the internal report from ICE, like, so we don't know what the ICE agents are saying.
You're not going to care what the ICE agents are saying because you don't respect them.
In terms of like the behavior that they observed from her. Obviously the videos that we have are pretty limited, but here's one thing I want to just ask you.
We also haven't
Um,
heard though from her side because they'll say
right,
things
yeah.
like she was looking out for her neighbors. Like, okay, what does that mean?
Well, I understand. There's the situation is not 100% clear right now. And so the best thing that we can do is just make the most reasonable deductions possible based on what we can observe. And so let
Hmm.
me just ask you a question. If her intention, and this is something that I accepted kind of uncritically at first when it first happened, and then when the videos first started going super viral, I just kind of accepted the premise that she was trying to block ICE from moving. Of course, we found out from Christy Nome a couple of days ago, and that was really new information that to me really changed like a lot of the analysis because she had said that the convoy was stuck because one of the ICE vehicles got stuck in the ice or got stuck in the snow.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, wait, hang on. This is an entirely new kind of thing now.
No, it's totally irrelevant. You're just looking to have a gotcha against the gnome chick. There was ice agent cars stuck in the snow. There's snow all over the place. It's icy conditions. That is a true thing. It wasn't the immediate reason for this conflict. So these people are LARPing idiots. They don't know what they're doing. They're just in the vicinity because they want to be where the action is and go and stare down the stormtroopers. These are the same people that would put a flower in the rifle of, some policeman during a protest just because it's iconic and it's virtue and I'm going to film it. And isn't my life meaningful because I'm pushing back against these evil men who are trying to, enforce the laws of our country. So it's totally retarded what they're doing. They're not bringing weapons. These people are not, shooting BB guns at these people. They're doing a less severe form of obnoxious interference. And it's mostly just like noise pollution and just cuntery. So them being cunty in general proximity to ice is their idea of a meaningful existence. Okay, so Hutch is getting bogged down with like, wait, which car was stuck in the snow? Is that even true? Yes, it's true. Okay, this is the general context of why these other ICE agents were there to try to help the one car get out of the snow. What does it have to do with anything? This one ran over a man with her SUV. The end.
Because before I was in my mind thinking that the convoy was literally blocked by her, which was kind of silly in retrospect to think that, but like that's just what the initial impression was. But um, if her intention was to block traffic, why would she not park her car literally in the middle of the road?
Oh my God. It was, dude. Okay, look, her car is not a fucking truck. Okay, it's not a bus. She blocked as much as the road as she possibly could. She blocked an entire lane of traffic. If you're trying to downplay, like, if here's a better advice, go to the center of the road. At this point in this LARPing cunt's daily activities, she had decided, I've done enough. I've got some footage. I think I'm happy just blocking a half of a lane of traffic. So thanks for your little petty advice for this woman on how to better obstruct a road. But this is so not the point. She was blockading traffic, endangering the lives of everyone on that road that day. All right, it is illegal. She should not have done it. She is a cunt.
Like if you're trying to block traffic, you're not really doing a good job of doing that by
What?
blocking one lane.
It's all of the lanes. How many lanes? This is not a 4-lane highway. She's blocking everybody who is trying to drive normally. So now we have head-on collisions. We have just chaos and fuckery afoot because she wants to be a cunt. Now, if she parked her car in the dead center, maybe people can get by her on both the left and the right. She decided to block an entire lane of traffic. And what is the difference here? What a stupid minutia point is Hutch on right now. This is so retarded. Dude, has nothing to do with anything. All right? Whether or not she could have obstructed traffic better is seriously what you're talking about right now?
Like that just doesn't make sense. That her intention was to block traffic. And
Okay, well, that's what she was doing. That is what hey, you know how she was blowing her rape whistle and making a lot of noise and like just trying to irritate and fuck around? I think she should have used a bullhorn. She should have used the whistle with the bullhorn. That would have made more noise. So like, can we like what was she even doing? She could have made more noise.
to me, like the most reasonable deduction that I can come
Oh,
up
you're a fucking retard, Hutch.
with is, obviously her wife had exited the vehicle and was filming the ICE
Wife. Two girls. What?
agents. We've seen a lot of activists and civilians
Mhm.
monitoring ICE operations and filming them. And
Monitoring. Oh, really? Yeah. It's half-ass lesbian terrorism. Let's call it what it is.
you know, that's constitutionally protected. They are allowed to do that.
No,
Sometimes
no, no. You cannot break the law. Period. You're not, it's not a protest. This is not your constitutional right. If you break the law, if you obstruct traffic, you will be arrested. Go try it again. You try it right now. Park your car perpendicularly, block half, all of a lane of traffic. So everybody going north to south, whatever direction this is, they cannot do it because of your SUV. Let's see how long before you're arrested. That you have no right to do this. You are breaking the law.
I've seen examples of some really cringe people doing that. Other times I've seen examples where I'm like, I'm glad somebody was there to
Yeah,
record what happened
because you're a lefty douchebag. Yeah.
because there appears to be a lot of force for that situation. So, like, I think the most plausible deduction for what happened was they went there specifically to monitor ICE. Specifically, the wife had gotten out of the car and she had her phone out. She was recording, and then the driver was just parked and just kind of observing.
No. She was perpendicular, blocking an entire lane of traffic. So to get around her, you have to endanger your life and everyone's. This is called a crime. She was not just parked. She was not in a parking spot. She was not legally anything. She was there to obstruct everything, including civilian life and these ICE agents. Okay, so you trying to downplay it? I mean, do you see the lies? Do you see the dishonesty? Do you see the weaseliness? Like, having to explain reality to someone. Like, no, you're not going to gaslight us and tell us she was just parked. In no world was she just parked. You just went over the fact she was blocking lanes of traffic. The fuck, dude?
What her wife was doing and that. Like, I don't think she was there trying to block traffic. It just doesn't.
What the hell are we listening to? You just said she was blocking traffic. Your only criticism was she could have blocked more of it. She was blowing her whistle, being a cunt, and it wasn't just observing. She was committing a crime, a traffic violation. Okay, in conjunction with a political agenda. So this is why the word terrorism got floated, is because you're committing crimes with a political intent in mind, and you're using violence, aka running your car through people.
Doesn't make sense.
Have you seen? I don't know. I don't think I included in this.
I was so dumb. Holy shit!
Before the stream, because it was annoying because all the clips are all over the place. They're not really
The one
one
of her
central
dancing.
location.
The one of her
Yeah,
dancing.
because it's like a 3-minute clip. I mean, she's sitting there perpendicular in blocking very.
No, but she was just parked. So, like, what is that? Yeah, parked in the road, perpendicular,
clearly blocking one lane of traffic
on a 2-lane street. One lane on a 2-lane street.
3 minutes. And she's sitting, she's honking the horn, she's dancing.
So this dude has to downplay this because he has to glorify her and make her the hero, and because his side is the heroic side, he wants to be a good person. And it's like, you are represented by criminal idiots and cunts who are taking action and being violent to police officers because they are cunts and they don't respect these officers. And like, this is the outcome. And we have to sit here and after the fact, go through this parade of gaslighting for this dork to try to justify his political views. It's like fucking insane, dude. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter about who you voted for president. If you like ICE, I don't give a fuck. It's like, what does that have to do with you downplaying and ghosting the fact that this woman is blocking traffic, and obviously so, and you're trying to pretend she isn't doing that, pretend her driving away isn't resisting arrest, pretending she didn't see the guy in front of the car, pretend she didn't hit the guy, pretend the guy wasn't in front of the car. We're going through non-real situations being gaslit to us over and over again, and all for what? To get to the finish line of, I'm a good person, I'm better than you because my side is better than yours, because people on my side are victims and you guys are evil. And everything you do is not justified. Everything we do is justified. Tra-la-la, let's play make-believe together. We don't want to play make-believe with you lefty idiots, okay? That's your fucking world. That's your bubble. We're outside of that. We live in reality.
That does not, to me, seem like, okay, well, she's just observing. Like, if you were just observing, there's a bunch of cars, and I don't know if they're ICE cars or more for the people that with her group. There's a bunch of cars that are are parked on the side of the road as you would be if you were,
Mhm.
going to one of the houses or observing normally. So to me, that doesn't make any sense. If she was just observing, then she would just park normally. She wouldn't be blocking one whole lane of traffic.
Yeah. Loser. Why are you downplaying this?
But what could she possibly have been trying
What?
to accomplish by blocking one lane of traffic?
Oh my God. First of all, it's a menacing presence. Okay, you cannot. This is so dumb. Holy shit. Why die on this hill? Oh, well, you could block that entire lane of traffic. That's one thing you could do. I mean, hey, why don't you try this? Go to the Panama Canal and just park your boat horizontally in front of the canal, like right at the choke point, right where the boats go through. Just put your boat. Now, it's a barge. You operate a barge. It doesn't cross the entire Panama Canal, but it covers half of it. And you're there. You could hit the accelerator like we know she did. So your engine is running. I mean, you're ready to move. It's an ominous threat. It is technically and obviously a crime. Obviously a crime. Let's see what the Panama officials say to that guy operating that boat. Hey, we got a guy here. He's just sort of sitting in the canal, perpendicular, blocking traffic. Well, is it even bad he's not blocking the whole canal? I mean, he would if he could. We can only assume. But no, he is. It's only half a crime. It's only a full crime if you're blocking all lanes of traffic, said nobody ever. The fuck are you talking about, my man? This is retarded. Hey, should we charge this guy with assault? What did he do? He punched me in the face. Was it a right or a left? It was a left hook, if you must know. Well, he didn't. So he punched the right side of your face? Yeah. Well, he didn't punch the left side of your face. Thanks. Thanks for that point. Fucking retarded. Hutch, you're fucking retarded.
That's why I said to me, it's kind of weird and suspicious that neither side has really given a very clear
Well,
accounting.
could you just give me
Well, I'm going to tell you why.
a guess?
And now we're investigating her retardation. Her blocking traffic is a technique that group uses, have used it multiple times. It's her way to flex her control and say, none shall pass. I control this road. I'm the sheriff in town. I'm going to just be a menacing presence here with my, weaponized vehicle. So that's her methodology. That's her little tank. She's the lesbian captain of her own tank division. And you're sitting here going, explain to me why she's a cunt and a retard. I don't know why she is. Go talk to her about it. Oh, you can't? You know why you can't? Because she's a cunt and a retard. She tried to drive over an ICE officer. But now you trying to backtrack and be like, it can't be a crime because it's retarded. Hey, why did George Floyd counterfeit bills, and why was he driving under the influence of meth and fentanyl? I don't know. That sounds dumb. Yeah, well, he did it. Everything he did was a crime. It's all dumb. But the dumbness of it doesn't delegitimize that it's a crime. Is it really that bad of a crime? It was only half of the road. What are you doing? Hey, a guy stole $50 from my wallet, and he only left me with 50. I had $100 in my wallet. So wait, he stole 50, but if he was trying to steal your money, wouldn't he just steal the 100? I don't know, dude, but he stole 50. Yeah, but I just don't get it. I just don't understand. If you were really trying to steal, you'd probably steal the 100. Yeah, dude, this is what the fuck, Hutch?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my guess.
Okay.
Because so the fact that neither side has said something, to me, this is my guess would be that I think that they were probably trying to block the ICE people in once the guy got his car stuck in the snow, and then they probably got their car out faster than they could actually set up their little blockade, and so they just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, it's like they're not gonna confront in any meaningful way. They're not gonna, engage with weaponry, or they're just running. It's like we're on this pussy tier of domestic terrorism. So it's not blowing up bombs, it's not shooting guns, it's being an obnoxious bitch to the greatest degree possible. And so this was, the leader of that. She's the captain, the head of the caravan. So she's going to use her little minivan, her little SUV, and park it in a way that makes life more difficult for these federal agents. And then when she got called out and was like, hey, bitch, you're going to jail. She's like, no, I'm not. I'm going home. And it's like, well, you shouldn't, because there's a guy in front of your car. And she's like, I don't care. I'm her. I'm her. I do what I want. And now she's dead.
And so that's why maybe she's there and you're like, okay.
And now we have this fucking bald-headed douchebag. And first of all, who would be bald? How stupid is that? Like, humans have hair. Try having hair, you fucking leper. But whatever. A bald guy, as if we're going to respect what he has to say, he's telling me, wait a minute, was she even doing anything wrong? Even though she's obviously committing a crime on camera? Have you ever driven a car, dude?
Why isn't she blocking? Well, maybe someone else was supposed to block the other side and they didn't do it in time or something. So she's just kind of there being like, cringe at that point.
But you think that's more plausible than
Oh, God. Here's a scenario. Give me a rational reason why she was doing what she was doing.
they clearly observed that the ice were stuck in the snow. And then in that moment, they didn't anticipate that traffic would be moving. And so she posted up perpendicular just so she could
What?
have like a direct view of the situation and her.
Right, right. A lot of people just park their car and hover horizontal in the middle of a road just to get a good view of the ICE agents doing their job. Dude, this is sad and pathetic. And again, it's a low IQ thing. It's beyond gaslighting. It's like retarded. It is a insulting waste of our time for you to try to rationalize why someone is perpendicularly sitting in the middle of a road. She has no reason to be there. There's nothing legitimate about what she is doing. She is not traveling from A to B. She is obstructing federal officials from doing their job. She's trying to cause interference. That's the stated goal of her group. And so, no, this is not her just watching. She is committing a crime. A traffic violation, bare minimum. Okay. Like, hello, what are we doing here?
Her wife. Like I agree with what you're saying in that it goes beyond simply just observing if you're honking your horn and that kind of a thing. Like
noise pollution, another crime. I'm not even kidding. Like, fuck these people for disturbing the peace.
they were obviously antagonizing the ICE officers, but that does not
Uh-oh, here comes the leap. Here comes some more retardation.
like that does not
Does not what? What?
like that
Huh?
you can like blow a whistle
What?
over and over. You
You
can
can, yeah, and you can be arrested for noise pollution and for disturbing the peace. So, yes, you can do a lot of things and you can eat shit. Like, there's a degree to which you can push the envelope, and, if you want to figure out where that line is, I mean, we'll show you. And parking your car in the middle of a road is like, it's not cool and it's not kosher and it's not legal.
do that. I'm not saying that people should do that. I don't even have a strong opinion on that. Like that's not something that I'm really thinking about.
Yeah, that's the theme for you.
But in the situation that you just laid out, that to me does not seem plausible. Like she was blocking one lane of traffic because she anticipated another ICE observer blocking the other lane.
She had a caravan of people. She was not alone. And what do you mean? Sweet, blocking traffic isn't valid. It's not an explanation that holds any weight for you unless she blocks all traffic. How? She's not Mr. Plastic. She can't extend the size of her car. She blocked as much of the road as she could in her car. Hence the perpendicularity. I went for it. I went for saying that word. I knew it. I knew I was going to stick the landing. It's like you jump up and try to do like a double twist half pike, and you're like, I'm not landing this. The perpendicularity, oh, fuck, I tried it again, and it's not going well. Perpendicularity? All right. She could have been parked in a normal spot. She could have been driving away. She could have not been there. She was there. She had no reason to be there other than to interfere with federal agents. She decided to block lanes of traffic and then command other people as to where to go, as if she's the boss of this road now. She is not the boss of that road. She's not the boss of anything. So she fucked around and she found out.
Like, where's the any evidence that there was another?
Well, you asked me what
Where's the evidence? We interviewed people that said there was a caravan. There's more than one people, more than one car, more than one person there that day doing the same thing, part of the same group she was part of. So where's the evidence? And she doesn't need to have other people there. What she was doing there is enough. She was committing crimes, her and her car.
my guess is based on what we know so far, because we don't know.
but
As I said, just a guess.
right, but is
Because
that
I agree with
more-
you. It's like, why would you block? She's clearly blocking one lane of traffic. I don't agree with you. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would block a lane of traffic to simply watch ICE with some intention of like, oh, my goal here, like if I'm putting myself in this situation, I'm like, okay, my goal here is to watch ICE, because I know there's people that like tail ICE and they watch ICE and they blow whistles or they honk
Get a life, God.
in the horn And
Yeah.
the goal of this is to try to alert some potential illegal to like hide. And that's like their stated goal. And so if that's my goal, I'm like, okay, and I'm sure these people have been coached. Like, you got to make sure that you
It,
don't like physically interfere with them, because if you do that, then they can arrest you and you can get in trouble. So I'm assuming they have this knowledge. So it shouldn't be like some like, out of the bounds weird thing. So if I'm that person, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna just park my car on the side of the road. I'm gonna honk the horn and alert people. I would never think in a million years I'm going to block an entire lane of traffic, which gives them great cause to come and detain me or arrest me. That doesn't make any sense. In terms of like me parking my car perpendicular doesn't give me some kind of visual advantage to observe the situation
Wait,
in
sure it does.
some
Sure.
What? Dude, you can't park your car in the middle of a road. Like, what the fuck? This is the level of insanity that we get to. Like, it's just so beyond obvious. Like, why are you going to bat for this woman and what she did? Why can't you concede that obviously she's breaking the law? Like, are you this dumb? Oh no, it gives a total advantage to go perpendicular so she could totally scope it out. What the fuck? She wants to be in her car so she can, first of all, escape. That was evidenced. But she wants access to her horn because she's riding the horn and it's fucking cold outside. So she's staying warm by being inside. This is her little mom tank. And like, this is the max thing she can do is block roads and hit her horn. I mean, it's like LARPy cringe shit. All right. But like for this dude to sit here and tell us it's not a crime, what she was doing, it absolutely was a crime. And for her to say it wasn't even a big deal because she wasn't blocking all lanes of traffic, that's also equally retarded. Hey, I just kidnapped a kid. From who? My neighbor. My neighbor has 2 kids. I kidnapped one of them. But did you kidnap both? No, I didn't kidnap both. I just kidnapped the one. So is it even that bad of a thing? Yeah, it's kidnapping. But why not kidnap both? Because I could only carry the one. I got 2 arms. I picked her up. I carried her home. Oh, okay, so you're kind of a half-ass kidnapper? No, I'm a full-on kidnapper. It's just like, Hutch, you're a goddamn idiot. It is so aggravating.
It does.
No, it
What do you
doesn't.
mean?
How?
Because you're looking
You can
through.
turn your head.
No, no, wait,
I mean,
hold
you
on.
can,
Hold on.
she
Hang on,
could
hang
have
on.
just turned her
Hang on.
head in the car, or she
Well,
could have got
let me
out of
answer
her
the
car
question.
and
Sitch, let me answer the
okay.
question.
Oh, okay, this is going to be juicy.
Like her window is rolled down.
Oh my God. Why is your window down? It doesn't need to be down. What are you doing? You cannot park your car in a road. All right. If she went to a legal parking spot, she could still observe ICE. She could still honk her horn. She would not be breaking the law. She was breaking the law. So now we're in like a rabbit hole of such stupid dementia that we're sitting here haggling over whether parking your car perpendicularly in a road is a crime. Now, imagine talking about that in a vacuum. Like, it's not really hard to decipher this, and yet we're sitting here struggling with it. And this is why I consider these people a waste of time, and I view it as a low IQ situation. Like, dude, you could hate Trump, you could hate ICE, you could do a lot of shit. Do not attempt to piss on my face and tell me it is rain, and tell me that parking your car perpendicularly in a road is not a thing or not a crime. She was committing a crime. She knew what she was doing.
There's no obstruction. She can just look directly at what is happening.
Windshields are made of glass. There's no obstruction. You can see out of your windshield. All right. What are you talking about? You don't have to turn your car and commit a crime and park in a road in order to look out of a window that's rolled down. Are you this goddamn retarded?
Versus if she parked her car head on, she's looking through her windshield.
Looking through the windshield. Right. Which is literally designed to be looked through. It's called glass. It has this property where it's kind of like translucent. You can see beyond it. Jesus Christ. Nowadays, she has a bullet hole in her front windshield, so she can just look through that bullet hole now and be unobstructed. Okay, this is being advertised as commentary or analysis. This is left-wing political commentary. I think it's justified to park your car horizontally in a road and unroll your driver's side window because then you could see easier. I mean, otherwise you'd have to look through your windshield, and who could do that? Who could look through a windshield? Why not get out of your car if you want to get a good look? I mean, I'm actually sad. I feel depressed.
that sort of a thing. Like it's literally an unobstructed view if she parks her car
Which
perpendicular.
she's also doing something.
Dude, you flagrant homo. It's literally unobstructed to look through your windshield. We made it like that. We made cars like that so that you could see through a windshield, so that we don't just crash into people. So you don't need to roll your window down. You don't need to have, like, I don't know, a convertible. You can see, Hutch.
Something illegal. So you're saying, okay, so she's doing something illegal to get a better view, which, I mean, that's pretty stupid if that's the thought process that she's...
Parking perpendicular in the road when a convoy in front of you is stuck. I mean, I don't find me.
So now we are down to that. We've come to just an absolute no-go zone where he's saying, is it really a crime? Is it really a crime to park your car perpendicularly in a road?
Yeah, that's yes,
yeah, but find me a single Minneapolis police officer that would be inclined to give someone a ticket for that.
Okay, the 3 cops who walked up to her and were about to give her a ticket. What are you talking about, dude? Park your car horizontally in any road in America. You will get a ticket.
That, bro. That is nothing. Like if a convoy is stuck, like if you can see that they're stuck.
You don't think that if there was a law enforcement convoy of any type that was stuck in the snow and somebody...
This is dumb.
Further...
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Causes some problem with traffic by parking perpendicularly to that at some point of the road, blocking an entire lane. You really don't think a police officer would come up and give you a ticket and tell you to get the fuck out?
No, not in this context. No,
I completely disagree. I think 100%.
You would have to, but you would have to articulate to me how she reasonably could have felt that she would have been even a tiny bit actually obstructing them by blocking one single lane.
Dude. Okay, I must come to a close here. I can't take it. I literally cannot take any more of this. Hutch. Blocking 1 lane is a crime. Blocking 2 lanes is a crime. Blocking 3 lanes is a crime. Punching a person once is a crime. Punching a person twice is a crime. Kidnapping 1 child is a crime. Kidnapping 2 children is a crime. Hutch, when you block all lanes of traffic, so it's not just 1 lane, that's all of the lanes going the one direction. It's a 2-lane road. You're blocking half of it. That means now people have to go around you. There are blind spots. You have moving vehicles. You are a problem. You are breaking the law. This is beyond obvious. The fact that you would not concede this point readily and move on to, I don't know, go defend another point, pretend like he wasn't in danger with his life, and pretend that the shooting wasn't justified. I don't know, do whatever you want. This showcases how biased you are, how tribal you are, how your brain is like not even functioning. Like, concede the fuck out of it, dude. Like, I'm trying to think of something in reverse. It's hard because I'm right on everything, but like January 6th. So they are harping back to January 6th a lot because it's like, well, this was right-wingers doing something. Okay, so was it a crime to break into the Capitol? Yes. Now, if I get out here and go, wait a minute, I like these people and their politics, so I'm going to pretend it's not a crime to like smash out the windows and jump into the Capitol building. Nope, that's a crime. So I'm consistent. It is a crime. I just don't understand. I don't understand the lack of self-awareness that he doesn't hear himself and he's not embarrassed by this performance. Like, why? Why do this? Why waste everyone's time? Like, it's just totally mind-blowing to me. But it lets you know, like, the caliber of people you're dealing with and, like, whether or not we should value the thoughts coming out of a person's head when they prove over and over again they're producing no value. It's literally stupid what he's saying. I'll give him another chance, but, like, this is beyond aggravating.
And they, like, what is her goal there?
Well, I
ask her, dude. Her goal is to run interference, be a half-assed cunty lesbian terrorist. Why do we have to rationalize? Like, dude... what was Richard Ramirez doing? Do you know that Richard Ramirez raped a grandmother? He raped a grandmother and children, but he did it to a grandmother. Then he killed her. And to that I say, what was he doing with that? Like, you should rape an attractive woman, shouldn't you? A little younger. Come on, Ricky Ramirez. What are we doing here, bro? Like, she wasn't even attractive. But you raped a grandmother? Like, I just think if you're going to rape, you should probably rape a younger woman. Just a, word to the wise. Like, who fucking cares? What? It is a crime. She's blocking traffic. You don't have to block all lanes of traffic to be criminally responsible for blocking traffic. Like, are you seriously this stupid? Fuck.
Okay, so even if, since we're kind of doing the whole mind reading hypothetical, even though obviously this isn't super matter.
It doesn't matter what her thought is. Her actions define her. That is the issue, is her actions. If you want to go down and see how warped and stupid she is, go read all her social media posts. Go watch some video she made. Like, people are fucking stupid and psycho. She was propagandized by left-wing media constantly to the point where she thinks she's part of the Rebel Alliance and she's fighting stormtroopers and everyone's a fucking Nazi. This gave meaning to her life. She is psychotic.
In terms of the court case. But it is kind of interesting. Even if the goal, if we're going to headcanon this, even if the goal wasn't to try to, like, block Dyson.
Why is this Illuminati eye brown? Is that a brown Illuminati piece of shit?
You could say, well, it's kind of like if a police officer is chasing a suspect and you see the guy running and you kind of like stand in front of the police officer and the police officer has to like juke around you. It's like, okay, well, you added like a couple of seconds of their time to allow the perp to get away.
No, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this.
Well, hold on. Let me just lay out the argument.
Okay, sure.
It's the police officer can still go around you, but you're still obstructing the police officer. And so you could say, well, maybe the goal was simply, it's a 2-lane road. You got 2 lanes of an ICE convoy coming. If you block 1 lane, they're going to have to come to a stop and slow down. They're going to have to do a zipper merge. You've now slowed down the entire ICE convoy. Boom.
But there was no indication that we know of on video that convoy had this like urgency of like exiting the area. And I think if you were gonna draw up an announcement.
Wait, what the fuck? He just tried to shift the goalposts. It's not a crime to park your car horizontally in a street unless someone is quickly trying to get away. Unless cops are trying. Dude, this is a public road. You can't park your car there at any time. It has nothing to do with ICE. Okay, this is like beyond obvious. I mean, it's wild to me that people expose their hand and they come right out and just go, look, I'm fucking dumb. All right, and I'm going to show it to you. Point 1, 2, 3. We're not even to the incident yet. We're talking about, he is going to bat for, I don't think it's a crime to park your car horizontally in a road. So like, we can't even agree to that. Now, dude, just run it by ChatGPT. Okay, there should be a new expression. Take the ChatGPT challenge. Now, ChatGPT can be an ass kisser. In fact, I think its default setting is to be pleasant and sort of friendly and kind of a glazer. It kind of will glaze anything you say to it. So take it off that setting. ChatGPT will not agree with you, Hutch, that you can park your car and block lanes of traffic. Why, God, have you decided to argue that point? Why? Clearly, you did not get a merit badge in this. Clearly, you did not go to UCLA or Berkeley.
Analogy?
Why does that matter?
Here's one that I think makes more sense, okay? Imagine a cop is like chasing a criminal, right?
Okay, let him do his job, yeah?
They have to go through like a really wide doorway. And then, you see them coming and you're like, okay, I'm going to block them from coming.
No, a doorway? What door? Where are we? In a house? You're going to block the doorway? First of all, you're allowed to stand in a doorway. So here's the problem with your analogy, you fuck. Standing in a doorway, legal. Parking car perpendicular on public road, not legal. Also, you standing there, you're not wielding a deadly weapon, aka a car. So you don't have a running vehicle, an SUV, that you're more than happy to use and drive through a human being with.
And then you stand at the widest berth that you could possibly stand, and you're only covering half of the space.
Oh my God. So you're a human being standing in a doorway and you're covering half the doorway.
Needs to be cleared.
But you're not committing a crime. In this case, she is committing a crime. So you're in a deadly vehicle, a weapon, it's to be respected. In other words, a motorized vehicle is significantly a difference between these two scenarios that you just laid out. So why don't we make it an apt analogy and say you're in a doorway, you have no business being in this doorway, and you are committing a crime there. So you are trespassing or you're, raping a child. You're committing a crime just sitting in the doorway. Okay, and you're endangering everyone's lives. So I don't know, you're throwing a knife around. You're like jabbing the air with a knife. How about that? That's more of an apt analogy.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
So
you
I was
obviously in that moment, the person does not reasonably think that they're going to be able to like block the cop. Because
What? Wait a minute. You're saying blocking half of the doorway? Well, hold on, forget the doorway. You're saying parking your car in a road, which was done explicitly to block traffic, is not blocking traffic. So now we're in pure denialism. And this is the same crowd of people. They do this with, did she hit the guy? They're like, no, she didn't hit the guy. Here's a video of her hitting the guy. I deny it. I deny reality.
there's just so much space right there.
But this is who these people are. So it's like, hey, I'm a woman. You have a penis. I know, but I'm a woman. Okay, but here's your penis. Okay, but I'm still a woman. No, you're actually not. So if you can lie to that extent, who's going to stop you from lying about obstructing traffic in a street? I mean, okay, we're off the reservation. We are in La La Land. This is postmodernism. It's just, let me use language to reframe reality.
So I'm just saying, like, the circumstances that the way that they played out in the video that we have so far, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay. It made no sense to me that Richard Ramirez fucked a grandmother. I personally don't get it. If he was fucking a pinup model, I'd be like, look, I frown upon it, but I get it. I get it. Oh, you don't know the degree to which I get it. When you fuck grandmothers, Richard, it makes me just question who you are. I feel like I don't even know you anymore. It doesn't matter what this dumb lesbian cunt had in her brain as to why she was blocking traffic, Hutch. The fact is, she was blocking traffic. The fact is, that's a crime. One of several she committed before her expiration date. So, I don't know why you think, like the premise of him saying that is, unless we understand her stupidity, we cannot condemn it. Unless I tell you why Richard Ramirez fucked a grandmother, raped her, I can't condemn it. No, I will condemn it, I will acknowledge he did it, and I will say I don't give a fuck why.
To assert that she was plausibly like trying to block them.
She was blocking them. What are you talking about if she was blocking them? She was blocking them. Oh, and also, you don't need to be blocking anybody. She's blocking every Tom, Dick, and Harry from moving along that road. It is a crime. It is an obvious crime. So, like, what are we doing splitting hairs here? It is a traffic violation.
There's 2 lanes of traffic. He's blocking an entire lane of traffic.
Yes, you jackass.
They were
Right?
they were stuck. They were stuck there.
No, life goes on, dude. There are people moving around. There are people that have nothing to do with this that are using this road. Like, seriously. I mean, I'm like just in a state of total disbelief, but let me tell you something. I am grounded to reality. What I'm telling you is 1,000% the correct way to assess what this dork is saying. All right, so never lose track of that. There's so many people with so many fucked opinions online, but like there is a right and a wrong. There is a real and not real. There is a morally correct answer and morally atrociously stupid answers. And us debating, yeah, but why did Richard Ramirez rape a grandmother? I just don't get the logic. That is not a legitimate use of our time on this earth.
That's the thing. That's pretty crucial. They were stuck there.
Yeah, so, but wait, when they're not...
They were not stuck there. They were driving. One of their cars was stuck. The other cars were just trying to get on with their day, trying to get those damn immigrants out of the country, the illegal ones. So life was going on. People were driving.
Not stuck, because we don't actually see, I'm assuming, there's one angle where you can see like like a bunch of cars, and we don't know which one's an ICE agent vehicle and which one is one of their group. So we don't know that. But there's an angle, and you can see there's a whole bunch of cars, like kind of, a few feet away from her, kind of behind her that are going to go. And that's why, you see people kind of driving around her and all that stuff. She is there's a 2-lane road. It is a one-way road, I believe. She's blocking one full lane of traffic, which forces 2 lanes to become 1 lane. Now,
yes, you goddamn idiots. So how about this? As a precursor to the next bullshit catalyst or talking point or viral moment, if a right-winger parks his car perpendicularly in traffic in a street and then some other shit pops off, I will be the first to tell you that right-winger Trump MAGA guy was wrong and was committing a crime, because it's not about who did it, it's about what they did. And if you block traffic in a street, it's a crime. So rioting, bad. All right. I don't care who's rioting. I don't care if it's the Philadelphia Eagle fans rioting. I don't care if it's left-wingers or right-wingers. Rioting is bad. I'm against it. Murder, bad. I don't care if you're shooting a CEO of a healthcare company in the back. That's bad. I don't care if you're, I don't know, some right-winger killing someone, some left-winger. It doesn't matter. It's wrong. It's bad. So these are called having universal principles. It's called having a moral grounding in life. And it's like, dude, you clearly don't have that. And now we're sitting here in this absurd rabbit hole of talking about the legality of parking in the middle of the road. Now, it's neither here nor there. The guy is doing a proxy war to defend this Renee Good, because once you start acknowledging she's committing crime after crime after crime, and it culminated in the grandiose crime of driving your SUV over a human being or into a human being, it's all her fault. And we leave the conversation, the lefty was totally, completely wrong and was the criminal here and caused all of this, including her own death. The end. And let me follow that by saying, you're not better than me. You're not more virtuous than me. You're not more moral than me. You're not an Eagle Scout. Your dick is nowhere near the size of mine. And let's get to the heart of the issue. Illegal immigrants shouldn't be in our country. You're wrong about that too. Wrong about cars and streets, wrong about evading police, wrong about whether or not she hit the guy, and you're wrong about immigration. So let's just cut to the chase.
I don't know. I'm assuming you've driven in a situation where there's road construction or some sort of holdup, and whenever there's 2 lanes of traffic and it suddenly becomes 1, everything slows down and comes to a stop.
And becomes more dangerous for everybody.
Because people now have to merge. Okay?
But is it not?
So we don't know. We can't read her mind. So unless we find out from her wife or from someone else that she was instructed to do this, we might not ever know the answer to this question. But her actions are creating a slowdown. They are creating obstruction. So either A,
not if the convoy's not moving.
Hold on.
What the fuck, dude? First of all, the convoy was moving. So you committing a crime, it doesn't not become a crime just because some guy is stuck in a snowbank. Other cars were moving. There's other people beyond the convoy of ICE agents. So there are citizens of Minneapolis who are trying to get from A to B. You are blockading them. You have no authority to do that. You are wrong. You're totally wrong on this. Okay? Couldn't be more wrong if you tried. This is so asinine that this guy is speaking about this in public to an audience. I cannot believe it.
She's either doing this for an intentional purpose to slow down ICE to some capacity, or B, she's just really fucking stupid. And either of those,
it doesn't even matter if she's stupid. What she's doing supersedes her stupidity.
They're still pretty reckless and still pretty negligent in this moment.
Listen, there's a bit of a fog around this entire situation, so I can't tell you with 100% certainty that her goal was to not obstruct traffic. But
I mean, dude, there's no fog. The fog is you. It's a man-made fog. It's the fog of your, low functioning brain. Like you can't see. You can't call this out for what it is. It just speaks to your lack of good faith or lack of any capacity to accurately assess the situation. So you can't even assess the crime of parking your car in the middle of a road? What makes us think that you're going to assess appropriate use of self-defense? Like you're clearly biased. You're like compromised as a human being.
But to me, it strains credulity to suggest that, given the fact that, number one, there was so much space in front of her. She's not.
Oh my God. Dude. So when I kidnapped one kid, you have to understand, the family, it didn't have just one other kid. They have 3 kids. So I only kidnapped a third of their children. They have 2 other kids. Dude, you completely failed to understand why parking a car in a road is a threat to everyone. And the retarded premise of your argument is, unless you block all lanes of traffic, you're not a problem. It shouldn't be a crime. I'm rewriting the laws of the governance of traffic in our country for the past 150 years. Like, dude, you can't do this shit. All right, it's so painful. This is like pulling teeth.
Actually blocking anything.
And it goes to show, bald people should not be allowed to speak in public. If you are bald, you clearly have failed as a human biological entity. You don't even have fucking hair. Why should we trust you?
The convoy does not appear to have been ready to actually leave by that point.
Oh my God, he's just throwing anything at the wall. Whether or not the convoy was ready to leave has no bearing on your traffic violation of blocking the road. There are more... I'm just going through the logic of like why. Like, it's painful, I know, but there are more people in Minneapolis than a convoy of ICE agents. You are in violation of them. So you're blockading public roads. You have no justification for doing this. None whatsoever. Has nothing to do with ICE. If ICE is stuck in ICE, if they are mobile, if they're not mobile, you can't do this if there's nobody else on the road. You can't, in 3 a.m, everyone's asleep at home, get out there and park your car in the middle of a road. You can't do that.
So
Well,
I don't know.
we don't know that. I don't know if
It doesn't appear. That's why I say that. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, they're trying to drive around.
It's just totally insane what he's saying.
They're leaving. There's some people are trying.
This is like, I'm going to go out and stand in the middle of the road, pull my pants down, and vigorously fap. I'm going to fap to completion in the middle of the night, and you're going to say that's a crime. That's like public indecency. That's like lewd. I'm sure there's like other crimes you're committing there. No. But everyone was asleep. Okay, but you're still committing a crime in a public space. No, but it doesn't count. What do you mean it doesn't count? No one was watching me. So if a bear faps in the woods, is it a crime? Yes, it's a crime.
No, that's not what happened though. The guy drove in front of her so he could get out of the car.
Oh, he drove into oncoming traffic in a lane he's not supposed to be in because this lesbian decided she's the new head les in charge of this road. No, that's a crime. He endangered his life, went into head-on traffic. Now, it happens to be a suburb, and he could see that it was safe at that time, but we're on a spectrum here, and like there's no reason why she has now completely deregulated our roads to the point of we got to work our way around this dike. Isn't that what a dike is? It's blockading the flow of water? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You are not like a dam. God damn you. You are a dike. You are blockading the flow of traffic. We do not give you... You have no right to do this. You have no right to do what you're doing. So in other words, go fuck yourself, lesbian. You are committing a crime. Yield. Stop doing it. Stop committing crimes.
And start filming her. That's the guy who drove around her. And that's the other...
Yeah, while he's filming up, you see like people are like driving around her. So people are trying to get by her at that time.
And she's obstructing traffic, and therefore it's a crime. Move on.
But at that point, any car that happens like after that, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but like the first time that he does one full circle around her car and then starts doing a second circle. The first time he steps in front of her car, she actually is reversing her car. I don't know if you saw that. She's moving it backwards the first time he steps.
Okay, yeah. So what? She's moving it backwards, right? So maybe she's going to legally park? Oh no, she's about to evade police capture and she's about to run over a human, which is the only relevant point. So not really that fascinating that she was moving backwards. Yes, she was disobeying a command from an officer, right? And we're not really here because she was moving backwards. She made her car go into drive and then she hit the accelerator and there was a guy in front of her car. So I wonder if you're going to deny the reality of that. I can only assume you will, because you just denied that parking your car in a road is not a thing. That should be illegal.
In front. That's when she looks over and says, "That's okay, bro. I'm not mad at you." She was moving her car back, so she does.
No, she didn't move it back at that time. She moved it back once the cop said, "Get out of the fucking car." When she said, "I'm not mad at you, bro," she was not moving her car back. She was camped out there, and she had her arm out of the window because she was just there to talk and cause shit and be a cunt. Okay, she was not backing up then.
Appear to be in that moment in the process of starting that 2-point turn.
Incorrect. She was not in the process. She began, you can look at the footage. Whence the cop said, get out of the fucking car. Then she decided, I better bolt. Okay, that is after the event you're describing.
Turn. And then
so
she
she
gets
was
distracted
further
with him.
in the road before that point, doing some sort of a further obstruction than she was doing at the time of the shooting.
I mean, to me, I don't understand this argument that she was like literally obstructing these ICE officers.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Her car was obstructing half of a 2-lane road. Do you understand that? No, I don't. Why not? Oh, because she's a lefty and I'm a lefty. Okay. So parking your car horizontally in a road is illegal. You are obstructing everybody. Everybody in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, you are being a dumb bitch. It's against the law. How are you rationalizing this? How is this a point of contention?
Well, again, you understand the concept, 2 lanes, 1 lane, you're slowing down traffic, right?
You're slowing down traffic for a convoy of 8
for everybody.
8 ICE vehicles who had
Yes, every vehicle that was trying to get out cannot because this dike is blocking the road. Yes.
been stationary and stuck in the snow. Is it not reasonable
What?
to
Only one car was stuck in the snow. The other cars were there to help that car. There are clearly other cars moving. Are you aware that there's more than one car in Minneapolis?
to suggest that it was possible in that moment that she was observing them being stuck?
I think that's
And
very
Absurd. You cannot park your car in a road. And there's no excuse. To observe a car being stuck is not a thing, dude. You just described something that made no sense. That was a non sequitur. He just said, no, she had to go horizontal because she needs to roll down her window to get an unobstructed view of the ICE agents. As if you can't see through your windshield. As if you need to be in your car at all. Get out of the car. Park legally. Don't break the law.
And therefore felt like she wasn't actually obstructing anything in that moment because they weren't moving.
She felt like it. Oh, just like the tranny felt like she's a girl as her dick dangles in the air. Wow. I felt a way. Maybe she felt like she wasn't committing a crime, said this douche. You know, when Richard Ramirez raped that grandmother, he felt it wasn't a rape. He felt it wasn't. Wow. I didn't realize the nuance, man. Wow.
I think it's more likely that she had, like, a lot of people that do this, they have this like resist idea in their mind of like, I'm gonna go do some, badass thing. And in that, they could be very cringe. I mean, I think she was kind of cringe, but I could definitely see this kind of cringe idea of like, yeah, I'm gonna slow them down. I'm slowing down ICE by blocking traffic 1 lane. They're gonna have to get slower to the next person they deport. At 100%. To me, now we're mind rating, that 100% to me makes a lot more sense than she parked perpendicular just so she could see them, as opposed to just getting out of her car like all the other people on the side of the road that were looking.
I mean, listen, we're not dealing with certainty. I don't find your suggestion very plausible.
Okay.
That she set out to obstruct them because you've obstructed. Congratulations, you've obstructed them like 2 seconds. Why they have to turn
this is
slightly to the left and take the lane that is wide open. Like
this is a person who did very reckless and not very intelligent behavior of trying to drive away when the ICE was reaching her car.
I mean, there are a lot of stupid people in the world, but
so what is his point? Like, this is so dumb, dude. Just because you could obstruct more if you, I don't know, had a larger car or had a tank or like a bus. Like, it doesn't mean you're not obstructing. I don't understand. It's such a non-point. Like, Devin, you only kidnapped 1 kid? You could have kidnapped all 3. Like, why not do that? And it's really completely irrelevant what he's saying right now. Like, it's so obtuse.
That would be the height of stupidity if she thought she...
And like, yes, she is stupid and cringe. How are you not on board with that? How do you not understand that? She shouldn't be there at all. She should be raising her kids, going to work, I don't know, making lunch, do anything else. She was breaking the law. She is a cringe fucking lefty lunatic idiot who shares a lot of your beliefs about the same cringe lefty nonsense. And it informed her life. It was meaningful to her to resist against the stormtroopers and the Nazis. I mean, she bought into the fucking rhetoric. So it makes sense to her to commit all these crimes and endanger everyone's life, including her own. And including the officer she ran into. So yes, she's stupid. We agree. She's stupid and cringe. Thank you.
She would be any kind of actual hindrance on their operation by blocking one lane of traffic in a 2-lane road that they could easily use the second
Okay,
lane.
I literally can't. I can't do this. I'm done with. I mean, like, it is so beyond. It's like mesmerizing, dude. God. Oh my God. Why did you cop a feel on that woman's breasts? That's sexual assault. Without consent, you felt her breasts. I can only assume that you did this because you were sexually attracted to her. If you were sexually attracted to her and your mission was to sexually engage with her, why not rape her? Attack the lower half. Go for penetration. Fuck her in her pussy against her consent. Don't just feel her tits. It doesn't make sense to me that you just felt her tits. In fact, I'm almost willing to give you a pass. If you had raped her, I would have said, okay, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. But it doesn't make sense if you're just playing with her tits. It's so half-assed. You're only blocking one lane of traffic there. I mean, look, she could get away without being raped. You wouldn't complete the sexual assault upon her. To truly complete a sexual assault, you must rape. Don't just fondle titty. And if you're going to sit here and tell me that, this was a rape or a true sexual assault, it wasn't truly a sexual assault because you only played with her tits. That is what is being presented to you. That is a pitch perfect analogy to what he just said. It makes just as little sense. What I just described is as non sequitur as what he is saying right there. Now, Hutch is so much of a low IQ putz loser, idiot, lefty, scum, fuckboy, that I cannot continue this video. I refuse to continue it. I'm going to go do anything. I'm about to go count my pubic hairs. Do a physical head count on my pubic hairs. And I would view that as a more useful use of my time. So wish me luck in that operation, and I hope you have a good day.